kitchen today. I'm going to make the mother of all desserts, crème brûlée. The first thing I did was preheat my oven at 325 degrees, and I also cooked some water in my water boiler because we're going to need that later for the dessert. So for the dessert itself, we need some egg yolks. Don't throw your whites away, you can always use those for something else. We need some milk, we need some whipping cream, we need some sugar, and we need a vanilla bean. Smells so good. Now, the crème brûlée you can also make only with whipping cream. You don't have to add milk. I happen to love milk, so I put milk in all my desserts when I can. So I'm going to start to split open my vanilla bean so I can use the inside of that for my crème brûlée. I'm actually not going to use my whole bean. I'm just going to use like a knife tip full. I think that'll be enough. Now for an emergency, if you don't have a vanilla bean or forgot to buy it, you can use a teaspoon of vanilla extract, but that's really only for emergencies. And don't tell anyone. So let's add the rest of our ingredients. Our whipping cream, our sugar, the egg yolks, and our milk. And all we're going to do is whisk this together now. And that's it. See how fast that was? It's really such a great dessert, and you can prepare this hours before your guests arrive and then just put it in the refrigerator when it's done and cooled off after the oven, and then you can take it out whenever you're ready. So traditionally, crème brûlée is served in little ramekin dishes. I'm using today these little dishes. You can use higher ramekins, really whatever you like or are in the mood for. And I have a big baking dish here that I'm going to set these in, and I folded a towel so it fits right in there, so my little baking dishes don't start to float around in here because we're going to fill this up with water. And all we do now is fill up our little pots. And now I'm going to get my hot water. And I'm just going to fill up my big baking pan now with water. Probably halfway up to the little baking pans. Now we have one last thing to do before it goes into the oven. Sometimes on the top of your liquid, these little bubbles form, and we want to sort of spoon them off because we don't want our finished crème brûlée to have these bumps and bubbles. We want it in the perfect way. So I'm going to do that right now. And you don't want to stir anything, you really just want to sort of pick them up like this. Okay, so our crème brûlée is ready for the oven, 325 degrees for about 35 to 40 minutes, depending on what kind of pan you're using. And you want the consistency of the crème brûlée sort of to be maybe like jello, that it still wiggles. We just want it to settle, but we want it a little more than to be It's not supposed to be fluid anymore is what I'm trying to say. So I'll show it to you when it comes out. So our creme brulee has settled in the oven. It was in there for 42 minutes. And I'm going to take it out now and put it on a cookie baking pan here so it can cool off. This is really hot, so you don't want to do this with your hand. Okay, so this is going to cool off for about an hour, and then when it's all cooled down, I'm going to put it in the refrigerator for another like 2.5 hours. And when it's cooled completely, I will come back and see. So this is how the creme brulee should look when it comes out of the oven. It's very smooth, and you see the little speckles there is that beautiful vanilla bean. So let's caramelize it. Everything has cooled off, and now we're going to add some sugar on the top of our dessert. Now I just like a little sugar. Some people add a lot of sugar. That's really just personal preference. And now I have one of these torches. If you don't have this at home, what you can do is you can put this under the broiler in the oven and have the sugar caramelized there. Just keep in mind the traditional way to eat the creme brulee is that you eat the egg mixture is supposed to be cold with the hot sugar on top. But if you just want to try it and see if I like it or not, then I would do the broiler, and then you can always invest in one of these later. So I'm going to caramelize our sugar now. And you want to move it around a little bit just to make sure you don't burn one spot, because it goes fast because it's very, very hot. Smells so good. Okay. Voila, perfect creme brulee. Bon appetit, and thank you for joining me today in Alexa's kitchen. Bye-bye. So here are some ideas of the different pans and dishes you can use for your creme brulee. As you can see, I don't like to caramelize it that much. I did a little more in that little red one that you see. And my favorite dish, actually, how to serve the creme brulee, is a little espresso cup. I think that's very pretty. Enjoy, and bon appetit.